What's going on, Jerome homies? So it's a beautiful Monday. Birds are chirping and stuff, and it's time for another Vikings news dump. But major news is Super Bowl 59, whatever. Right. So the absolute worst possible matchup in terms of fan interest, in terms of not hate watching, but here we are. So you got the Chiefs going for the three-peat. Chiefs and the refs, of course. And then you got the Eagles. No. That's all I got. Just no, right? It is a rematch of Super Bowl 57. Most people don't know that because most people didn't give two hoots about that Super Bowl either. But anyways, here we are. And, of course, the main losers in this is anyone with two eyeballs, not from Kansas City, Missouri, and Philly/New Jersey. All right, so rooting for the Meteor. Come on, 7. Come on, baby. It's just, I hate the Eagles. I'm actually rooting for the Chiefs to win, and even though the refs certainly help the Eagles on Sunday, they're going to help the Chiefs on Super Bowl Sunday. Get the three-peat because that's how much I hate the Eagles and their stupid fan base. That's it. The only redeeming quality of this matchup is that the Lions fans, they did not make the Super Bowl and they never will. That's the only good thing, right? And of course, it did turn out to be a blowout, but there was some pivotal moments in this game. So on the left is basically Jalen Carter was just out there just biash slapping Tyler Biadasz, which is kind of funny. So illegal use of hands to the face. I guess it's not a thing, as well as the pretty blatant hold by Saquon on Frankie Louvu, who quickly is becoming one of my favorite players in the league. On 4th and 5, Hurts hits that moonshot to A.J. Brown. Now, did it change the outcome of the game in the grand scheme of things? No. Was that definitely a momentum shift? Whereas the Eagles could have turned it over at midfield to the Commies versus going down and scoring a touchdown? Yes. And just because the Eagles won in a blowout doesn't mean that was an okay call or non-call. Yeah. And also Frankie Louvu. I love that. So basically, I've come around to they need to ban the tush push, not because it's an unfair play, but it's because it's just not football. It really isn't, right? And what happens now is what the Commies did is something that's going to happen a lot around the league next year, maybe even in the Super Bowl, where teams are just going to keep jumping off sides. And they're going to do it because if we can hit it just right and we blow this play up, that's fine. If we give them, because it's half the distance to the goal, if we just give them 4 inches, I mean, it's not going to make that big of a deal. But if we can hit that one time, like the one time out of 20 where Frankie Louvu jumping over the top just times the snap right, blows that thing up, it's worth it, right? And that sequence of events, it was just unwatchable. Right? Where the Eagles lined up and the Commies jumped off sides or did whatever, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's happened for like 6 plays. And then the ref came out and explained, hey, if Washington does it again, we can just award a touchdown to the Eagles, which is music to Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid's ears. Like, hey, the refs can just start awarding points. I feel like that's a very bad precedent. It is, right? So I feel like at a certain point, it's just ridiculous. Like, so you should not be able to push the person who takes the initial snap. So it doesn't matter if it's quarterback, running back, tight end, whatever. It's just, nah. And of course, with the Chiefs, all of the memes and stuff is, yes, the Chiefs, the refs certainly do help the Chiefs. But it kind of sucks because I feel like it takes away from the appreciation of the greatness of Patrick Mahomes. And this goes in fits and starts all over time. Or then in the 70s, the Steelers always got the calls. The 80s, the Niners did. The 90s, the Cowboys. 2000s, the Patriots always did. And now it's the Chiefs. It just sort of is what it is. But I mean, I feel like there's a little something to back it up. And just for 31 other teams, the play on the left, the bomb to Xavier Worthy before halftime, like that's incomplete. How does the ball hit the ground? And by the way, Worthy never had any control of this ball before it hit the ground, right? So Bishop was all up in there, simultaneous catch. You could never say at any point did Worthy have control of the ball before it hit the ground. But then hits the ground, bounces up, settles on Worthy's chest, and all of a sudden that's a catch. Then, of course, the controversial 4th and 1, and everyone's brought this up too. The players literally wear GPS devices so they can get next-gen stats. Oh, he hit top speed at 22.15. And we can't put a GPS in the ball for first downs as well as goal line stuff. Is it a touchdown or not? Of course not, because the NFL likes the modicum of control where it's like, hey, we're going to have the two 50-year-old guys with cataracts 25 yards away being like, it's no first down. No first down, please. And we're still doing the stupid chain gang thing. Part of me wants to think it's so that the league can still control that in case they need to just twist things a little bit. Also, it extends the game, so that means more time for commercials. So, fully understand that. Yeah, it's all about the money. But, of course, Mahomes, again, all of the hatred for the Chiefs and all of the refs talk, it really does cover up how amazing Patrick Mahomes is. He is. Ari Mario, my sports update. Mahomes' NFL career as a starter. Year 1, AFC title game, Super Bowl win, Super Bowl loss to Brady. AFC championship, then Super Bowl win, Super Bowl win, Super Bowl TBD. It's really ridiculous. So he's going for 3 in a row for Mike Yo. He's going for 4 and 6. It's pretty damn impressive. Not a single season of his starting career has ended before the AFC title game. It's just frustrating, man. It is. Yeah. Also, something that's awesome. So after the Chiefs got their stop on 4th and 5, saw someone rocking a Vikings jacket in the crowd. I love it. I love that. And you always see the one person. Usually it's a Packer fan, but I feel like there's always one random Dolphins fan. And I feel like in like the 90s with Shula and Marino, I feel like Miami did something where, because the Dolphins are a very popular team overseas, especially in like England. So there must have been a marketing blitz just all in like, hey, Dolphins, Wingcraft, we're sending so much Dolphins gear across the pond and we're getting that. It's going to be good to go. But yeah, love to see our man representing out there. Our man, lady, whatever, they're high-fiving, representing. I love it. Also, some Vikings on the Super Bowl. I forgot that Lewis Cine signed to the Eagles because he had spent. So initially he was supposed to go to the Jets, but then he went to the Bills practice squad all season. They just sort of forgot about him. And then the Eagles signed him to their active roster a couple weeks ago, right? And it fits because Howie Roseman just loves those Georgia Bulldog defenders. That's what he did. So it would be absolute peak irony that Lewis Cine gets a Super Bowl ring before the Vikings. That's what happens. Also, Nick Muse, your company's computer guy, signed to the Eagles practice squad. So that means that he had a choice because the Vikings did offer him a futures contract, but he's just like, nah, I'm going to go to the Eagles. But fly, Eagles, fly. I like Nick Muse. Thought that he could have had a future here, but maybe not so much. But also you learn something from the Eagles in that running backs do matter. And there's no Saquon in this year's free agent class. No, do not pay Najee Harris. But again, the Giants are super dumbasses for letting him go. I know there's so many people that just want to defend it. It's like, well, $12.5 million for a running back. How are you going to do that? Well, if you can have your team carried by him, yes, you can certainly do that. And you can say that, well, the Giants didn't have a good enough offensive line. Get a better offensive line for Saquon. It's just ridiculous. And I just love watching the social media reactions of Giants fans just completely melting down because the Giants hate the Cowboys, they kind of hate the Commies, and they definitely hate the Eagles. And now they might see their guy who they could have paid and retained, but instead they paid Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, $40 million a year. Saquon Barkley, $12.5 million. That's ridiculous. No, but the running back position is valuable, and especially when he can do it at such a high level. Also, one of the reasons why is because the Eagles' offensive line is really damn good. Mekhi Becton, going to be a free agent. I'm just saying, hey, could he be a liability in outside zone? Well, he is a physical freak, but I don't care. Change the scheme. Change it. And signing up a guy like Becton or sign up a guy like veteran Kevin Zeitler, I do not care. I want asses up front that will not move and impose the will up front. That's what we need. Well, back in the day with the Broncos and the Shanahan and Kubiak, and they just had the small offensive lineman, and then you just go outside zone, and then the cut block. Cut block's illegal. They got rid of it, so it's just so frustrating. It really is. But give me offensive linemen where the middle number of their weight is a 5. So 3, 5, 5. That's what I want, man. That's what I want. That's what we need. But honestly, if the starting 5 offensive linemen next year combined weigh below 1,700 pounds, we're going to have a problem. We're going to have issues, man. Yeah. Also, your respect for the game. Even in a losing effort, Jaden Daniels is going to be a star, man. I love it. 2 playoff wins in his rookie season, both on the road. Eliminated the Lions, which is fantastic for us. But what about our defense? Shut up. Shut your face. Jaden Daniels is box office, and we said that at the time. So, the economy's getting bought by Josh Harris and Magic Johnson. It's all about showtime. It's all about the stars, and that's exactly what Jaden Daniels is. Now, get him some freaking help, man. Scary Terry is awesome. He's fantastic, but go get T. Higgins. Go rebuild that offensive line. Go get some dogs on defense. I mean, build the team around Jaden Daniels. He's a star, man. I love it. Something I also love. So the Vikings are one step closer to keeping Grant Udinski as assistant OC/assistant quarterbacks coach because Seahawks hired Clint Kubiak as their new OC. And Lil Cubes, was OC for the Vikings here back in the day for a season. Maybe he's a little bit before his time. Sure. But of course, I wonder how he got that job. Yeah. But Clint did have a good season in spurts with the Saints this year. He now heads up to work with Mike McDonald as their second OC in 2 seasons in the McDonald reign. And we'll see if it's Geno. Maybe it's Sam Darnold after they get rid of Geno. Who knows, man? But now, Grant Udinski, who interviewed for the Patriots job, that's filled. He did interview for the Buccaneers OC vacancy, which TBD, but it would be nice to keep the brain trust together. So we'll see. Also, speaking of which, Clint Kubiak's former boss, Mike Zimmer. Ed Werder, go. Mike Zimmer tells me that he will not be returning to the Cowboys as a member of Brian Schottenheimer's staff. Will likely retire from coaching in the NFL. Likely. Zimmer served as defense coordinator last season. Cowboys likely to hire Matt Eberflus, says DC per sources. And also, of course, the Cowboys screwed up the Rooney Rule, so they're just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, but with Zim, so Zim obviously loves football, and I don't think that he can retire, even though he is engaged, isn't he? Mazel tov. Congratulations, Zimmer. But when Deion Sanders gets an NFL head coaching job, and that's coming. That is coming very shortly. Here's what's going to happen. The Giants are going to draft Shedeur Sanders, and then Daboll's going to get fired next offseason, and then Deion heading to New York. And Zimmer will be hired as a senior defensive consultant. I don't think he'll be coordinator anymore. I think he's aged out of that, but senior defensive consultant. And that's what's going to happen. Also happening. So, I love Will Reichard. He just seems so nice and innocent, and he's a hell of a kicker when his leg isn't acting up. And hey, the quad looks pretty good right there, bro. Yeah, but his wife posted this on Instagram. Made it to paradise, Cancun, Mexico. He did the meme. He literally did the meme. Cancun on 3. Woo! All right, but also Reichard strikes me as a guy who definitely swims with a shirt on. Not because he doesn't have an athletic build. He's just like, I don't want to get sunburned or something like that. I don't know, man. But jokes aside, Reichard is going to be a pipe hitter in this league. I was going to say pipe hitter and nail driver, and it was going to come out as pile driver, but he might be that too. Don't know. But Reichard's going to be fine, but it's really funny. Now, not going to lie, a lot of players do hit Cancun. A lot of them do hit Cabo, although I was never a fan of Cabo because the water's never warm, because the Pacific is never warm. But in the Gulf of whatever the hell they're calling it this week, it's warmish, even this time of year. So there you go. But get some R&R Reichard. Come back tan, rested, ready to go for OTAs, off-season work. Hit it. That's it. But that's it. Vikings news dump. Wasn't a lot of Vikings news. Oh, well. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull. production value.